It's official, major changes are coming to SASSA payments in June 2025, and for millions of South Africans who rely on this lifeline every single month, this update could mean the difference between financial struggle and much-needed relief. If you're a recipient of any SASSA grant, whether it's the old age pension, the disability grant, the child support grant, or the special R350 SRD, you'll want to hear every detail. This isn't just a routine update. We're talking about new timelines, payout adjustments, policy changes, and a shift in how the government plans to manage social assistance in the months ahead. So stay tuned, because what we're about to uncover could directly impact your household budget this winter. First, let's begin by breaking down what exactly has changed for June 2025. In the past, SASSA payments have followed a fairly consistent pattern. Beneficiaries were often paid according to their grant type, with old age pensions typically arriving first, followed by disability grants, and then child support and other social grants. But for June 2025, there's a notable shift in the payment schedule. Due to the alignment with public holidays, school calendars, and internal system upgrades, SASSA has slightly reshuffled the dates, something that might catch some recipients off guard if they aren't carefully tracking their usual payment days. And with June bringing colder temperatures and higher expenses for electricity, food, and transport, a delay of even a day can feel overwhelming for vulnerable households. Another significant change is the implementation of a streamlined biometric verification process, which is being introduced more widely this month to reduce fraud and increase efficiency. While this sounds good on paper, it's already sparking concerns among grant holders who are elderly or disabled and may struggle to physically get to verification points. SASSA has stated that mobile units will be deployed in rural areas to help with this transition, but critics worry this could still leave thousands stranded if they miss their verification window. If you're receiving a grant and are asked to complete a biometric check, make sure not to delay. Missing this could result in your June payment being suspended pending further identity verification. And there's more. SASSA is also implementing a new SMS notification system for June. This is designed to alert grant holders when their money has been deposited into their account or is ready for pickup at designated pay points. The goal is to reduce long queues and confusion, particularly in communities where beneficiaries have to travel far to check their status. However, this system depends heavily on having up-to-date phone numbers. Many SASSA recipients have lost phones, changed numbers, or are sharing contact info with family members, meaning these notifications might not reach the intended person. If you haven't updated your contact details with SASSA recently, now is the time to do it. Otherwise, you might miss critical updates or payment confirmations that affect when and how you receive your money. In terms of actual payment amounts, the June 2025 cycle brings some small but meaningful changes. While most grants remain the same as they were in April following the last increase, the child support grant top-up, which supports orphaned or vulnerable children in foster care or kinship placements, has been adjusted slightly upward due to inflation tracking. This top-up is now R270 in addition to the base child support grant, offering families a bit of extra cushioning amid rising food and utility prices. Though it's not a massive jump, it signals the government's continued support for extended family caregivers who are taking on additional responsibilities. But it's not just about individual grants. SASSA is also testing a new pilot program in selected provinces in June 2025 that could eventually change how grants are delivered nationwide. This program will focus on direct-to-retailer payments, allowing beneficiaries to use their ID or SASSA card to collect money or shop directly at certain major retail stores without needing to withdraw cash at ATMs or post offices. This system is being piloted in Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, and parts of the Eastern Cape, and early results will determine whether it's rolled out nationally. If successful, this could reduce cash theft and provide greater convenience for recipients. However, some civil society groups are expressing caution, warning that more corporate involvement in grant distribution could lead to fees or exploitative pricing unless properly regulated. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, SASSA is tightening its oversight with new fraud detection algorithms and data matching tools. This may not sound dramatic, but it means that from June onwards, more recipients might face temporary suspensions if their records don't match up. For example, if someone is receiving both an old age grant and is still listed as actively employed or receiving new IF, they may be flagged for review. These audits are aimed at preserving the integrity of the system, but there's growing concern about how errors in government databases could wrongfully affect legitimate beneficiaries. The best thing you can do is make sure your information is accurate, your bank details, your contact info, and your employment status if it applies. For beneficiaries of the Social Relief of Distress, SRD R350 grant, June marks another turning point. Although the R350 grant has been extended through 2025, there is now a monthly income threshold review being introduced as part of the payment process. Anyone who receives more than R660 in total monthly deposits into their bank account may see their application declined for that month. SASSA says this policy is meant to ensure the R350 is going to the most desperate households, but many applicants are still unclear on how income is being measured. Is it just salaries, or do gifts and shared family deposits count too? These questions remain frustratingly vague, and unfortunately, thousands of applicants could be unfairly penalized unless this policy is better explained. Let's talk about post office payouts. In previous years, many SASSA beneficiaries relied on SAPO branches to withdraw their grants. But with ongoing restructuring and closures across South Africa's postal system, more and more recipients are being encouraged to switch to bank account transfers or collect their payments through retail stores like Shoprite, Pick n Pay, Boxer, and Checkers. For June, SASSA is increasing its efforts to phase out cash payouts at some smaller post offices altogether. This could pose serious challenges for elderly recipients in remote areas who don't have easy access to formal banking. SASSA claims its team is working closely with local leaders and NGOs to identify and assist these vulnerable populations, but it's not yet clear how widespread that help will be. Interestingly, June also kicks off a new media awareness campaign funded in part by the Department of Social Development. This initiative is using community radio, WhatsApp groups, and even local churches to spread accurate information about payment dates, scams to watch out for, and how to resolve suspended grants. There's been a rise in fraudulent messages and fake SASSA agents offering to speed up applications or unlock blocked grants for a fee. If you or someone you know receives a suspicious message, do not respond. Instead, contact SASSA directly or visit your local office. The official channels remain the only safe way to update your info or check your grant status. One of the bigger picture stories that's also developing in June is the growing pressure on the government to introduce a universal basic income, UBI, in South Africa. While this isn't officially tied to SASSA's June payments, discussions are heating up in Parliament and in policy circles. The idea would be to provide a flat monthly income to all adults regardless of employment status. For many, this is seen as the logical evolution of the SRD R350 grant. While a UBI is still a long way off, the June payment cycle is being carefully watched by analysts looking for signs that the current infrastructure can handle broader distribution models in the future. Another major development? Mobile grant clinics. These are rolling out more widely in June, especially in underserved communities. Staffed by SASSA agents, these mobile units are equipped with laptops and fingerprint scanners and can help people apply, update information, or resolve disputes. For people who live far from SASSA offices or can't afford transport, these clinics are a potential game changer. However, availability is still limited, and many regions are struggling to meet demand. If you see a mobile clinic advertised in your area, try to get there early and bring all necessary documents, including your ID, proof of residence, and any medical or legal papers related to your grant. We also need to talk about youth applicants. With youth unemployment at staggering levels, more young people are turning to the SRD grant as a stopgap. But for June, SASSA is tightening the review of applications from people under 25 who are still registered in school or university. If you're a student receiving NSFAS funding or a bursary, you may not qualify for the SRD. This has caused some confusion and controversy, as many argue that even students face daily survival challenges and should still be eligible for temporary support. As it stands, though, these disqualifications are going ahead in June unless broader policy changes are announced. As we wrap up, the key takeaway is this: June 2025 is a pivotal month for SASSA payments. Whether it's biometric checks, new verification rules, updated payment methods, or income threshold enforcement, this month could significantly reshape how beneficiaries receive and rely on social support. If you or someone in your family depends on these payments, the best thing you can do is stay informed, check your SASSA status